Have you ever seen the sparkling eyes of your dog when you hold a piece of food in your hand? They look at you with trust, with excitement, and you full of love. Share a bite of your meal. Biologically, this moment is flooded with oxytocin, the love hormone, creating a feedback loop that bonds the two of you together, much like a parent and child. But did you know that seemingly harmless act of love might be silently harming their little body day by day? No, I'm not talking about chocolate or grapes. Those are well-known dangers. I'm talking about common, everyday foods, things that might even be sitting in your dog's bowl right now. You love them. You want the best for them. But if you're unintentionally feeding them one of the 16 foods listed here, you need to know the truth. Some of these can cause seizures, kidney failure, or even death. And heartbreakingly, most pet owners have no idea. I know that feeling, the mix of love and regret. But that's exactly why you're here, to learn and to care better. So let's start with the first food. It seems innocent, but is a sweet assassin for your dog. If you've ever stuffed peanut butter into a toy for your dog to lick, or used it as a reward during training, you're not alone. Many pet parents do it daily. Peanut butter's xylitol. But what most don't realize is that a sweet ingredient in some popular peanut butter brands can send your dog to the emergency vet within hours. That ingredient is xylitol, a sugar substitute. It's safe for humans because our pancreas knows the difference between real sugar and this imposter. But for dogs, their body creates a catastrophic mistake. When they taste xylitol, their system thinks it is a massive amount of sugar and releases a flood of insulin instantly. This causes a sudden insulin spike, leading to dangerously low blood sugar, a condition called hypoglycemia. This can lead to seizures, coma, even death. Just a small amount can knock down a healthy dog. And the saddest part is it often happens while you think you're treating them to something special. I know you're trying. You want your fur baby to be happy. But if the peanut butter you use isn't all natural, made from just roasted peanuts, you're gambling with their health. If you've done this before, don't blame yourself. What matters is learning and making changes. Need a safer alternative? Try mashed pumpkin or a small spoon of unsweetened coconut yogurt. Tasty and safe. A surprising number of caring owners, even those who invest in things like smart dog collars to track health, miss the danger hiding in everyday treats. Processed meats. Ham, sausage, deli meat. And if you're thinking, at least I never give my dog bacon, hold on. Even deli meats, sausages, or sandwich ham you give them off the table can carry hidden risks. These processed meats often contain extremely high salt levels, preservatives like nitrates, and seasonings like garlic and onion, all toxic to dogs. You see, your dog's ancestors were wolves, scavengers, designed to eat fresh meat, not cured meats loaded with sodium. Their kidneys simply aren't built to filter that level of salt. Studies show that dogs who eat a lot of processed meats are at greater risk for pancreatitis. Think of the pancreas like a factory that produces digestive enzymes. When it gets overloaded with rich, fatty, salty meats, that factory catches fire. The enzymes start digesting the pancreas itself rather than the food. This is a painful and potentially fatal condition, not to mention the increased risk of stomach, kidney, and bladder cancer due to constant nitrate exposure. And if you're thinking, oh, it's just a tiny piece, remember, to a body that weighs only a few dozen pounds, a small piece for a human is a big burden for a dog. Swap it with boiled, skinless, salt-free chicken. Your dog will still love it, and you'll have peace of mind. Instant noodles. But danger doesn't only come from meat. Take something like instant noodles. You might mix it with rice when you're out of dog food. But these flavorful noodle packs often contain dangerously high salt levels, onion and garlic powder, and flavor enhancers like MSG, all damaging to a dog's liver and kidneys. The kidneys act like a water filtration system for the body. When you introduce MSG and high sodium, you are essentially clogging that filter, forcing the heart to pump harder and raising their blood pressure. Even the noodles themselves offer no nutrition, just empty carbs and bad fats. You think you're giving them a quick meal, but you're laying the groundwork for obesity, diabetes, and chronic illness. Instead, try boiling some brown rice or quinoa and mix with steamed vegetables. That's real love in a bowl. It's often during routine moments like these, feeding, walking, cuddling, that we unintentionally build or break trust. When your dog leans into you, that is a biologically ingrained behavior called contact comfort, a survival instinct left over from their days in the litter, signaling they feel safe enough to lower their guard. Noticing subtle dog trust behaviors like leaning into you or sighing during cuddles reminds us how deeply they depend on us. You see, it's not about trying, it's about knowing. And the next food proves this point: flavored yogurt. Flavored yogurt. You've heard probiotics in yogurt are good for dog digestion. That's true. But not all yogurt is safe. Many fruit yogurts from the store are loaded with refined sugars, artificial sweeteners, and even xylitol, the very danger we just discussed. Plus, most adult dogs are lactose intolerant. In the wild, canines only drink milk as puppies. Once they are weaned, their bodies stop producing lactase, the specific enzyme needed to break down milk sugars. This leads to bloating, diarrhea, and nausea within hours of eating. You're not wrong for wanting your dog to be healthy, but choosing the right kind of good is the real challenge. If you want to boost probiotics safely, go with plain Greek yogurt or lactose-free options. You'll be surprised how such a small change can have a big effect. It's also in these moments of care that many owners begin exploring support options like pet wellness plans, a quiet commitment to prevention rather than cure. Nuts, macadamia, and walnuts. Small but not harmless. That's the perfect description for nuts, especially macadamia and walnuts. Maybe you dropped a few while snacking and thought it's fine if your pup licked them up. But the truth is, some nuts contain natural toxins that cause tremors. Macadamia nuts specifically contain an unknown toxin that attacks the canine nervous system, disrupting the signals between the brain and the muscles. This causes vomiting, leg weakness, or even liver failure within 12 to 24 hours. Even seemingly harmless nuts like almonds or cashews can pose choking hazards, intestinal blockages, or severe digestive upset, especially if salted. Their digestive tracts are shorter than ours and not designed to break down the hard cellulose found in nuts. You can replace that crunch with cucumber or carrot slices. Cool, crisp, and totally safe. Think that's enough? Not quite. Canned fish. There are still foods people think are kind to share, like canned fish. Fish sounds healthy, right? But canned fish, especially tuna, often contains high mercury levels, a heavy metal that can damage a dog's nervous system over time. This is known as bioaccumulation. Since large fish like tuna are at the top of the food chain, they absorb all the toxins from the smaller fish they eat. When your dog eats that tuna, those heavy metals settle in their tissues. Many canned fish are also packed in oil salt or worse, preservatives that can harm the liver and kidneys long-term. Want to add fish to your dog's diet? Choose steamed or boiled salmon or sardines. No salt, no oil. Sardines are excellent because they are short-lived fish, meaning they haven't had time to accumulate dangerous mercury levels. If you must use canned, pick the kind packed in water unseasoned. Simple, but possibly life-saving. Roasted chicken. Then there's food that seems safe because humans eat it like roasted chicken. But that crispy skin holds huge amounts of unhealthy fats. While that skin tastes delicious to us due to the Maillard reaction, the browning process, it becomes a concentrated grease bomb for a dog. And the garlic, onion, and salt in the seasoning can cause anemia, pancreatitis, and severe digestive problems in dogs. Chicken itself isn't bad. It's how we cook it that makes it the Achilles heel of many dogs. Instead of rotisserie chicken, go with boiled or steamed skinless chicken breast. Still your dog's favorite, but in its healthiest form. Dairy products. Even if you've removed roast meat, canned fish, and nuts from your dog's menu, there's still an overlooked group: dairy products. Who doesn't want to share a bit of cheese or a spoon of cool ice cream with their furry best friend? But the truth is, most adult dogs lose the ability to digest lactose found in dairy. The result? Diarrhea, bloating, stomach pain lasting hours while your dog suffers quietly and you have no idea. Some owners think their dog has a sensitive stomach, not knowing the real culprit is dairy. If your dog scratches a lot, gets ear infections, or licks its paws after eating dairy, it could be a systemic inflammatory response to the milk protein. Skip the milk or ice cream, try frozen banana slices, or unsweetened coconut yogurt. Simple, safe, and refreshing. Bread. And if you love bread, especially the habit of tearing off a little piece for your dog at breakfast, it's time to pay closer attention. Bread may sound harmless, but it's full of yeast, refined sugar, and processed carbs. These cause bloating, digestive issues, and increase obesity and diabetes risk over time. In older dogs especially, chronic bloating and erratic behavior may be signs of something deeper, like early-stage canine cognitive dysfunction. Here's a lesser-known fact. The fermentation from yeast in bread can cause gastric dilation. Think of the stomach like a balloon. The yeast produces gas as it ferments in the warm environment of the stomach, causing it to expand rapidly. This can lead to GDV or bloat, where the stomach actually twists, cutting off blood flow, a fatal emergency. Replace that bread with carrot sticks or cucumber slices. Crunchy and gut-friendly. Breakfast cereals. Another snack that seems harmless. Breakfast cereals. Those crispy, bite-sized treats often shared with dogs. But most commercial cereals are packed with refined sugar, artificial coloring, flavoring, and sometimes xylitol or raisins, all dangerously toxic to dogs. You may think just a few pieces won't hurt, but to a 10 to 20 lb dog, that much sugar can already disrupt metabolism, insulin response, or even trigger early diabetes. It also causes a rapid spike in cortisol, the stress hormone, which can make your dog feel anxious or hyperactive, followed by a hard sugar crash. Instead, try a spoon of cooked oats or a banana slice. Your dog will thank you with bright, healthy eyes instead of tired ones from tummy pain. Grapes and raisins. Now, here's a particularly serious warning. Grapes and raisins. Many people don't know that even a few grapes can trigger acute kidney failure in dogs, sometimes just hours after eating. Recent studies suggest the culprit is tartaric acid, a compound found in varying levels in grapes. It targets the kidney's tubular cells, the tiny units responsible for filtering blood, and causes them to shut down. The scary part, not all dogs react the same way. It's idiosyncratic, meaning it's like a biological game of Russian roulette. One dog might be fine, while another suffers fatal failure from a single grape. Some dogs have even died after eating just a small amount of raisins in cookies or cereal. This isn't just a casual warning. It's a serious reminder. Avoid grapes in all forms. Always check snacks and leftovers within your dog's reach, especially with kids around. If you need a healthier, sweet option, try blueberries or strawberries. Tasty and totally safe. Onions and garlic. In the same danger zone as grapes, onions, and garlic, common flavorings in table scraps. The scary truth: these contain compounds that destroy red blood cells, leading to severe anemia in dogs. These compounds cause oxidative damage to the red blood cells, creating what scientists call Heinz bodies. Essentially, the cell walls rupture and the blood can no longer carry oxygen effectively to the dog's organs. Raw, cooked, powdered, it's all toxic. Symptoms like lethargy, pale gums, vomiting sometimes don't show for days, making it hard to trace the cause. So your best bet is to completely avoid anything with garlic or onion, even in sauces or spice mixes. Sugar-free gum, another food that seems harmless but is extremely dangerous. Sugar-free gum. Many sugar-free gums use xylitol. Yes, that one again. But in gum, the concentration is much higher. Because gum is chewed, the xylitol is absorbed rapidly through the mucous membranes in the mouth, hitting the bloodstream much faster than if it were digested in the stomach. And if your dog swallows just one piece, they could fall into a coma within 30 minutes. This often happens when a dog finds gum in a bag, jacket, or desk. You need to store things more securely because one piece of gum could become a sudden life or death emergency. Green potatoes. And finally, but just as dangerous, green or sprouted potatoes. These contain solanine, a natural toxin that affects the nervous system. In nature, solanine acts as the potato plant's defense mechanism against pests, essentially a natural pesticide. In dogs, it blocks acetylcholine, a vital chemical messenger for nerve signals. This causes vomiting tremors, irregular heartbeat, and in severe cases, paralysis or death. If you store potatoes in the kitchen or garage, check them regularly. Never give your dog peels or undercooked potatoes. A moment of carelessness could cost a tiny life. If you've made it this far, you're truly a caring pet parent. I know you might feel worried, even guilty, if you've given your dog any of these foods. But don't let that stop you, because your awareness today can save your loyal friend tomorrow. Dogs can't speak their pain. They are stoic animals by nature, an evolutionary trait to avoid showing weakness to predators. But you, through informed, loving actions, can shield them from the dangers hiding in your own kitchen. And sometimes, doing better starts with small everyday choices, from food to affection, to choosing the right dog multivitamins that support their vitality behind the scenes. If you found this video helpful, please hit the subscribe button. Every week, I'll share more real stories and useful tips to help you care better with knowledge, empathy, and heart. And if you know someone who has a dog, share this video, because one small action could make a world of difference for a four-legged soul that just wants to be loved the right way.